Hey, my name is Reece. I'm the founder of HPA Media, which is a paid advertising agency for women's fashion brands. I'm also the founder of Agency Automation, which is a one-on-one mentorship for agency owners, but I'll speak about that later in the video. What I want to speak about in this video is how to become more confident when it comes to your agency. Now, for those of you that are new to the channel and you don't know anything about me, I started my first agency back in 2017. From the period of 2017 to 2020, I signed 0 clients. I had a couple consultations here and there, but I signed 0 clients and definitely didn't have any retainers. I didn't book even meetings. I think I booked maybe 3 meetings in those first the first 3 years. So it wasn't very successful. However, in 2020, the health issue hit. You know what I'm talking about. And when that happened, I was furloughed from work, meaning I couldn't go to work any longer. I had to stay home. I couldn't go to my retail jobs. I had to stay home. I took that opportunity to actually rebuild my agency. I ended up getting a coach. The coach helped me through a few action items, helped me do what I needed to do to get my first couple meetings in the door. I ended up signing 2 clients, leaving my job after around 2 months. And the rest is history. Since then, as I said, HPA Media, we are a paid advertising agency for women's fashion brands, currently doing around 15K a month, and that's my situation right now. So before I want to go ahead and jump into this, I want to show you a little clip from May 1st, 2020, which is the day after I sent my very first proposal. I was using Upwork. So I'm going to play that clip really quickly. It's 1.5 minutes. If you want to skip it, feel free. It's just to build a little bit more background so you know that I was pretty much exactly where you are right now. So let me go ahead and play that.
And I've only sent 1 proposal, and I now have 1 meeting booked. So everything's moving very fast. I was going to film this video tomorrow, literally on the weekend. And I was going to do, every weekend I will come in and I will say some stuff to you guys. But what I've realized is this is going to move a lot quicker than I expected. I have sent 1 proposal, 1 cold outreach, and I have booked 1 meeting. That's a total of 100% so far. So we will see what goes on. But the point is, I have a meeting today, and a lot of people would be scared. I am ecstatically happy. When I saw that email, I went crazy, in a happy sense. And you know what? A lot of people will be scared right now, but my mindset's at a point where they need me, because I have a team ready. That's another thing I'll talk about in a later video. But I have a team ready, and I know that I can provide this service. I know that I can get them results, and I'm so happy about that.
Cool. I'm going to leave that there. It's very clear from that video that I was feeling a little bit of confidence. And that's only because for 3 years I didn't feel the confidence. And I had this switch. When I started working with this particular coach, I had this switch in my mind. Let me actually scroll up. I had this switch in my mind where I knew that things were going to be better now because I had somebody walking me through the process. I had somebody that was going to be there if I had a question. And if I was concerned or if I was unable to provide results, him and I had already spoke about the contingencies and exactly what would happen in that situation. So I was fully prepared. I was ready. I had somebody that I could go to if I had questions, etc. But the thing that you've got to keep in mind here, and this is something that I've always kept in mind, which is that confidence comes from competence. And quite frankly, there is no way to skip that. Now, you can buy experience. You can buy experience. People talk about it when it comes to reading books. If you read a book, you're essentially taking the experience or knowledge that somebody else has had, and you're kind of like downloading that into your mind via the book or via a course or something to that effect. When you're working with a coach, it's pretty much like you're hiring somebody to come into the business that has already done the same thing. So it's like their sole role is achieving whatever the goal is that you want to achieve. If you want to scale your agency to 10, 15K a month, then that's the goal. And you're literally hiring somebody to help you do that. So in this situation, you become a lot more confident because you know that if there's any issues that were to arise, you know how to kind of get that sorted. Now, my number 1 issue from 2017 to 2020 was believing that I couldn't provide the result. I had a very deep desire, very deep issue where I didn't truly believe that I could get the result. And it was because I was taught that I should do the advertising myself. I should be my own media buyer. I should do the fulfillment. At least until I had a couple clients. But this doesn't make any sense, because let's say you're just getting your agency started now. The maximum amount of experience for paid advertising you've got is probably, anywhere from a few weeks to a few months. Definitely not multiple years. Especially when I was getting started in 2017, and I was like 17, 18. And when I was getting started, obviously I didn't really have any experience, especially with paid ads. I had theory knowledge from courses. It's not enough. And being 16, 17, I have nothing on somebody who's got 10 years experience. There's no way that I could get that unless I buy it from someone else. So you see in the video, I mention I'm so confident because I have a team that I know I can get results with, right? That's pretty much what I said. And so this is the very first thing, because the most common issues that I see, number one, ability to provide results. All you got to do is find a way to pretty much be able to guarantee that you can provide results, and then that little issue of lack of confidence just gets turned off. It's like a little button in your mind where you're like, I know that I can provide results now. I know that I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that we can get results for the client. And by doing that, by acknowledging that and really deeply understanding that whatever happens, you are going to be able to get them results. That is the most important thing when it comes to clearing that issue. If you don't have experience and you don't have somebody that does have experience, or you have somebody but you don't know if they're very good, you're going to keep having this issue creeping up in your mind. Every time you're approaching a prospect or you're on a sales call, you're not going to be able to speak with conviction. You're not going to be able to tell them, we are going to help you out. We're going to help you grow. We're going to give you exactly what you need. We're going to do the tasks that we need, because you're not going to truly believe it yourself. There's that seeing is believing thing, and to be honest, it's 100% true. Seeing is believing. Confidence comes from competence. It's like competence being just familiar, knowing your way around things. And if it's not yourself, it's having somebody that's going to know how to do that. It's having a coach that's going to be available to answer your questions when you've got them. It's going to be the media buyer there that's going to do the work for you. Somebody with 5, 10 plus years experience, their sole life, like their life, their career at least, has been built around media buying. That's the only thing they do. And you hire that person, of course they're going to do well. Of course they're going to do well. If they've been doing media buying for 5 to 10 years, there is nowhere that they can go wrong. Otherwise they wouldn't have made it those years in the first place. They would have been fired, or they would have quit a long time ago. So that's the number one thing, because that's the number one issue. The number one issue that I see people have is just the ability to provide results. Now, number two, this is especially a big deal for people that are younger or new into business. And I never actually had the issue in my mind of, oh, I'm too young. I never really had that, if I'm being very honest with you. My biggest thing was ability to provide results. But there's also the fact of not being taken seriously. This one's really, really simple to fix, because you just got to start taking yourself serious. And it's really about changing the image that you've got in your mind of yourself, your self-image, or the mental image that you've got of yourself. There is a reason that I dress up smart, because I like it. It makes me feel good. I also know that I'm going to be taken more seriously. That's the truth. But deep down, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel more professional, more serious, more competent. Makes me feel like I actually know what I'm talking about. I'm dressing up, I'm excited to work, which is another thing. I'm being excited to work. I want to do this, right? A lot of people, they're working a 9 to 5, and bear in mind, remember, I was working a 9 to 5. I was working retail. It was a manual labor / sales job, which I hated, but another story. But the point is, I was working that job, and in the evenings I was working the agency. So I had this split image in my mind where I wanted to pursue the agency, but my self-image was one that I worked in a retail job and I grew my business on the side. It wasn't that I was a business owner and I had a job. There's a difference. So what you need to start believing from today is that you are an agency owner, because you are an agency owner. If you're watching this video and you're just getting started and you're serious about becoming an agent, like owning your own agency and becoming an agency owner, especially growing it to 6, 7 figures, you need to start feeling that today. You need to start understanding that you are an advertising agency owner. You're an agency owner. It doesn't matter if that's advertising or something else, but you are an agency owner. You got to start feeling that. How do you do that? I mean, I'm not going to go over the mindset stuff today, but the just keep telling yourself that you're an agency owner. When you speak to people, tell people you're an agency owner. When I met my girlfriend, which was at the end of 2019, I told her I was an agency owner. Of course, I had a job, but I told her I was an agency owner because that was my self-image. That's what I felt. It's not that I was just hiding something from her. It's just that's what I felt. I felt I am a business owner. Yeah, I've got a job. So it's a job on the side. Yeah, I've got a side job, but that's my side hustle. You know, my 9 to 5 was my side hustle. My business was my business. That was my number one. So there's a big difference. So from today, just start seeing yourself as an agency owner. Just tell yourself, I'm an agency owner. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell people. Whenever you meet people, say, ask the question, you know, what do you do? People ask you back, say, yeah, I own an advertising agency, or I own a marketing agency, or whatever it is that you do. Pop that in. Start taking yourself seriously, and then you will be taken seriously. If you're worried about your age or something like that, just stop, because age doesn't mean anything in business. Experience does. And experience does not mean that you've had to be in it for a while. It means that you need to be competent in the field that you are talking about. If you know what you're talking about, you will be taken seriously. Alright? Because you will take yourself seriously. If you know what you're talking about, you will take yourself seriously, and you will be taken seriously. If you don't know what you're talking about, then learn what you're talking about. Get somebody, learn it from someone, watch some YouTube videos like you're doing right now, except stop watching after this video, stop watching the confidence ones and just get onto the thing that you feel like you're not good at. If you feel like you're not going to be able to provide results, hire someone to do it and just be familiar. You know, if you're providing TikTok ads, be familiar with the platform, know how the algorithm works, know what kind of content works. If you know these 3 things and you just have a familiar understanding of what the system looks like, then you're able to talk about it because you know about it. The media buyer can do the rest. They can actually create the videos, or they can, you know, do the targeting or whatever it is. Email marketing, same thing. Just know in your head a few flows that are necessary, a few campaigns that you could potentially run. Have the basic understandings of how to use Klaviyo, other platforms like that. And when you have just the basic understanding of how that system looks, again, you can speak about it because you know about it. And you've got somebody that's going to actually be there to fulfill the role, to fulfill the tasks on a daily basis. And you just overlook from the overlooking position like an agency owner actually does. So that's the number one to be taken seriously. As I said about your age, stop thinking about it. Doesn't matter if you're 15, 16, then yeah, maybe. But if you hire somebody that has 5-10 years experience or have worked with decent brands, then you can just communicate that like immediately, straight off the bat, and you will set yourself well. If you are younger, this is my best advice. If you are younger, if you're new to business, if you don't have much of a social presence or internet presence online, number one thing that you can do is start creating content, because that will establish you as an authority right away. It will show people that you actually know what you're talking about, and you're not just some 16-year-old that wants to make money so they don't have to go to university. Super, super important. All right. Number 3, the third most common issue that I see, and by the way, I have these 3 here. You may be facing something different. The advice that I'm giving pretty much works with everything, but if there's something specific that you're struggling with, pop that down below if I don't cover it in this video. But the third most common issue that I see is just concern about how to handle certain situations, and I already touched on this before. You know, when I got my coach, it became a lot easier for me because I knew whatever happened, I would have an answer to their question. If a client came to me and said, you know, asked something super specific that I didn't know, I knew if it's service delivery, I could go to my media buyer and ask them. And if it was something else, or if they asked for something, if there was like some agency system issue, then I could just go to my coach and I could ask him. So it made it very simple for me. And it's just knowing the fact that whatever you want, you can do. And whatever you put your mind to, you can do, you know? Andrew Tate says, if somebody were to pay him $1 billion to, you know, dig a hole, he would do it. Or I don't know if you've seen his business card, but on the back of the business card, he's a bunch of things. I can't even give examples. But he just says that he's basically capable of anything. And if you have that mentality that you truly can do anything, then you truly can do anything. You know, if somebody came to you right now and said, hey, look, I'll give you 10 million pounds or dollars if you do X thing, you know, if you create my website and you had to code it, then you would learn how to code and you would make it work. It's not about can you do it or not, it changes, the value changes. So understand that you can handle any situation that you're put in. if you've got a coach or a mentor, then you can handle more situations a little bit more efficiently. That's the truth. I still have coaches to this day in any field that I want to improve at or excel at. I have a coach or a mentor to help me through that. That's just a life standard that I live by. These are the most common issues. I've talked about how to handle those. If you've got something else that you that I haven't spoke about in this video, comment it down below. I will respond to you directly as a comment. As it says right here, as well as lastly, just kind of tie things together. If your agency is set up correctly, then just understand that they need you more than you need them, right? When we are selling an offer, which is just a desired transformation, we are selling that to the person. It's something that they want to achieve. If they're currently making $20,000 a month from their econ brand, and they want to make $100K a month, and you can make that price jump from 20 to 100K, which is 80K months. If you could make that work, there is no reason that you can't take 8K from them, because you're making that jump. You can probably even take more. You are producing 80K in revenue every single month by making that jump. If you can take someone from 20K to 100K, you're making that jump, and that's what they need you for. Otherwise, they would be doing it themselves. If they're not doing it, if they don't know how to do it, if they're struggling somehow, and you can make that jump for them, they need you more than you need them. Understand how much money you'll be making them. Stop thinking about the fact that you'll be charging a 2K, 4K retainer. Stop thinking about that. Start thinking in the terms of the value that you'll be providing them. That is the most important thing here, not what you are charging. So stop thinking about the money. Do what you have to do. Whatever that takes to actually get them the results, just do what you have to do. Hire the people that you need to hire. Whatever it is, just do what you have to do to make it work. And lastly is the doctor approach. You will know it. I'm not going to speak about it very far here, but very simply, when you speak to somebody, your sole factor is your sole goal is not selling them. It's just figuring out if you can help them. Figuring out, are they around the mark that you help? So like around 20 to 30K, for example. Do they want to get to where you want to get them to? Around that 100K a month mark. If they want to achieve that and you can help them with it, figure out what they're doing wrong. If it's a marketing thing and you can help them, then do it. But sometimes it's nothing to do with marketing. Sometimes they have distribution issues. Sometimes they have issues in actually creating the products and getting that out and getting, that manufactured. Sometimes it's a manufacturing issue. Sometimes it's a distribution issue. Sometimes it's the fact that they don't actually have capital to invest. Sometimes it's marketing. And let's be honest, you could have an agency hitting any of those points. You could specifically help people with their fulfillment or their manufacturing or their marketing, like most agencies do, or whatever it is. But if that fits in, if it's like a puzzle piece and it fits together and you can help them out, then go ahead, offer to help them out and help them out. So that's that. Now, lastly, to wrap up this video, I did mention at the very beginning, I own a mentorship program, which is called Agency Automation. I help agency owners, new and existing, scale their business to around 15K a month plus by building their client outreach systems and their client fulfillment systems. If this is something that you need help with, I will leave a couple links in the description below where you can check out a 25-minute demo video, me discussing everything that's featured in that mentorship, including the free guarantees that we have attached. And there will also be a direct link that you can go ahead and book a call with me. This call is used for us to just have a conversation, see where you're at right now, see where you would like to get to, see what's not quite working out. And if I can actually help you fill that gap and help you get to where you want to be, then I'll go ahead and extend that invitation for you to join me in the mentorship if it is a good fit to do so. If not, no harm done. We get a connection to call. You get to speak to myself, who's been running the agency successfully for 2 years now, and then we take it from there. Now, if you have any questions about anything that I spoke about in this video, go down below to the comment section, comment that, and yeah. That's pretty much it. If you got it, if you want to message me as well, message me on Facebook or Instagram. The links are in the description if you're watching on YouTube. And that's pretty much it. But I hope you found the video helpful, valuable, and I'll see you again in the next one.